Hey everyone, so I have a not so quick haul. I ended up going to that sale that I mentioned in another video, and hopefully I'm loud enough. I'm filming in my backyard, and it's a nice day out, and it's supposed to be nice for the rest of the week, so I figured I'd film outside. But I don't know if you can see, just recently, well, not recently, they've been back here since since I've lived here. But there's like really close neighbors. When this house was first built, they weren't back there. So, you'll probably hear me talking because it's crazy. And you're on boxes, so if you fall over, I'm very sorry. That's a distinct possibility. That's not all that's real. Okay, I'm going to jump into this haul. First I went to... I grabbed the book. I just grabbed it too, so I can show you. I'm not going to grab it. It's stupid. I went to half-price books warehouse sale, and everything was $3 or less, and so I got quite a few things, and I got one book, but I left it in there because I was reading it, but it's a big leather-bound edition of, like, just miscellaneous facts and random things that you could know. People always ask me, like, why do you even know that? Why do you know about that? I just read those books all the time, that's why. I don't know why, but I just like to read them. So, yeah, I'll show you the other books that I got, because I went to the half-price book sale, I went to half-price books on the way back, like the actual bookstore, and then I went to a garage sale. So, let's get started. So, I got the first and the second compendium. It's a, what would be the word? The bind-up of Human Urges. No, that's not what it is. It's just giving you a tagline. The first one has The Last Vampire, Black Blood, and Red Dice by Christopher Pike. And then this one has Phantom, Evil Thirst, and Creatures of Forever, also by Christopher Pike. They were only $1 each. Then I got The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. And this is really popular, so I figured I'd give it a chance. And read this one. This was only $1 as well. Then I got Bad Girls Don't Die. And this one is... I don't actually really fully know what this one's about. I will honestly say that I was drawn in by the cover, by the fact that it looks like it hasn't even been read, and that the characters sound really cool. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, anyway, this was $1. And then I got Seed by M.T. Anderson. And I really like this. We went to the moon to have fun, but the moon turned out to completely suck. I thought that was pretty cool. It seems like it's another dystopian. People have these feeds and that tell them where parties are happening, like advertisements, and all things like that. Until one girl says, why do we have feeds and all this, and causes this thing, because like nobody questioned it for some reason. But it actually won an American Library Association Best Book for Young Adults. So this was $1, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And then I got Carpe Diem by Autumn Cornwell. And this is about a 16-year-old girl who has like this list of things that she'll do. Her name's Vassar, named after the college. And she has like her whole life planned out, when she'll get married, when she'll go to college, what job she'll have, that sort of thing. But then her aunt shows up and blackmails her parents to let the aunt take her on a trip around the world, like backpacking. I think it's supposed to be supernatural, like something ends up, like, there's a reason that it's her, like there's something special about her, but it could be them just mixing it up with all the other paranormal things I've read. But I love backpacking, trip, travel books, so this was only $1 as well. Then I got The Maze Runner by James Dashner. I don't know if you guys have seen my Goodreads, but I did already review this, and that still holds true. This book is kind of annoying because of the slang. I realize slang changes throughout the ages, so I know why they do it. It just kind of makes it more difficult to follow, you know? And it's too much all at once. Not only do you have to keep track of all the characters' relations, what's going on, and the slang, but then you also are getting thrown all these things with, like, okay, in Northeast, there's this thing, and it looks like this, and then North, it's this thing, and it looks like this, and you have to keep track of all these things all at once. So, and that's just up to chapter 5, and the chapters are short. That's only like 20, 30, that's 30 pages in, and all that has happened, and you have to try and keep track of all of that. Now, I know it's possible, it's just I'm also trying to read like 6 books right now, so I just can't focus that much on that much and keeping it all in order, I suppose is the right word to say. So I figured I'd get it. It was only $1, and I can read it at my own leisure. I don't even know if this book copy's been read, like the binding isn't messed up at all. So, like, alright. Let's see, next is, I'll show this one. I had to get this one. I think this is my most expensive book that I got at the warehouse sale. It's Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, but it's the UK release softcover edition. And I've told myself, anytime that I see the British versions, the UK versions, I have to buy them. I think I have the 4th one. I think this is the Order of the Phoenix. I think that's the 6th one. And so obviously I'm not getting them in order, but I will soon have them all. It is my goal. I don't know who is coming here from the UK with all these UK books, but thank you for them. And then we have Unwind. Oh yeah, I was so excited to find this. The problem was they kept like bringing out more books after I've gone through this whole section, which was difficult to begin with. It took me like half an hour just to get through this one section, and the section was small, so I don't really get that. And but then they brought out more, and then they brought out another shelf and added that. And I had to keep checking. And then they brought out more, and so I had to go back and check. They brought out, just while I was there, they brought it out 6 times, batches of books, which I'm glad to get more books, but it makes it really difficult, you know. Now you have to be like, oh, I don't know if they added more books to this section. I'll go through it again. Oh, look, there's new books. I don't know if they did it again. So every time I went around and around and around, and they kept doing it over and over again. If it weren't so far away, I would have just kept going throughout the day, but it's over an hour trip. Day books. So, I couldn't. Which made me sad, because they're actually having another, they had a sale today where everything was $1 or less. And they had a filled bag for $20, which I could have done, and it would have been awesome, but I don't feel like driving. And the roads were under construction, which makes driving in that city even more hellish. So, oh well. Back to the book. It's Unwind by Neil Shusterman, or Shusterman. I'm not quite sure which it's pronounced. But this is a great book. I finished the copy that I checked out from the library, and I just had to get my own copy. I'd actually prefer to have, there's a hardcover edition that doesn't have this annoying red banner thing. I hate this red banner. I think it's ugly and tacky, and I don't know why they did that. But it was only $1, and it can tide me over until I find the hardcover edition that I like. That doesn't have this. This image is more prominent and pretty looking. It's just a nicer copy. And I don't even like hardcover copies, but I like that one. So I'll get that one. But again, this one, you know, no broken spine or anything like that. And it was only $1, so I'm just happy to have it. And then I found, which is funny because the book is called Found. It is The Missing Book 1. I don't know how many is in the series. I actually came across this book. It doesn't say, darn. That's weird. Oh wait, there it is. No, these are other books. Well, this is by Margaret Peterson Haddock. And she has the Shadow Children series, and then a few other books. I actually came across this book first. Oh, the next book is called Scent, which is slide on the back. Anyway, I came across this book on eBay when I was looking up books for young adults. And it looked interesting, and I was tempted to buy it then, and it was like $6. But then I found it at the sale, and it was only $1 for hardcover. So I was like, alright. And this is about a boy who knew he was adopted his whole life. He has a friend that's been adopted as well. And they get a message that say, what does it say exactly? You are one of the missing, and the second one says, beware, they're coming back to get you. And it has to do with a missing plane. That's why that's on there. And yeah, it sounds really interesting, so I had to pick that one up. And this one next. The Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. The cover is what grabbed me first. They actually have the sequel there. Now I kind of wish that I grabbed it while I was there, but I didn't because I'm silly. But this was only $1 as well. And you've probably all heard about it, but I'm gonna at some point break what the Morse code is on the back. I know one is an O and one is an S, but that's all I know because I know SOS. So yeah, I want to read this. It looks fun. And then I got this one. It's called Jane Bites Back by Michael Thomas Ford. It just looks interesting. I mean, with the line, it is a truth and universally acknowledged that Jane Austen is still alive today as a vampire. Yeah, I had to get that. The author of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies says, it's impossible not to love Michael Thomas Ford's sharp-witted, sharp-fanged Jane Austen, and I'm not just saying that because she spares my life in Chapter 6. That sounds interesting. And it was only $1. So I was like, yeah, I'm getting that. And then a couple books that were only 50 cents. This one was 50 cents. It's James Patterson's Witch and Wizard, and it seems to be another dystopian, but fantasy as well because it has like full-on magic and stuff going on. Really good. And then this is a series. Let me grab the whole series. Where is the series? There it is. Okay. That one. Nope, this one first. This one, that one. Okay. It is his Dark Materials series, which is the Golden Compass, and the Amber Spyglass, and the Subtle Knife. And I've never read a single one of these, but they're only 50 cents each, and I've heard nothing but good things about the series. It's on the, what is that? There's a list printed in the UK of that's like top 200 books that should be read in your lifetime type of thing, and his Dark Materials was on it. Obviously, that would be the series. So, I'm going to read it. It's only $1.50 for the whole series. Why not? And then I got this book. It's called Snow. You know, the more I have this, the more I wonder, do I already have this somewhere? I might. Or I've just seen it a lot. I'm not quite sure. But it's another, like, take on Snow White. It was only 50 cents. So. And I like fairy tales and fairy tale retelling, so why not? And then I got this one. It's Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. And this is like, it's not a typical size. Like, not the typical size of the mass market. It's slightly taller for some reason. It was only 50 cents. The only other copies they had were the big trade paperback versions, which were $2. And I was like, for 50 cents, it's the same book. And this is easier. I can toss it in my purse and carry it with me if I want to read it or whatever. But the actual reason that I got this book was because this author is coming to a conference in my area, and I'm really hoping to go to a conference and meet her because everybody keeps saying how great the books are. So hopefully I'll like it, and I can meet her, and maybe she can sign it. That'd be awesome. So yeah, that one. Although, by the way, this was in the Witch and Wizard and his Dark Materials, and this one were in the children's section, like kids section. But the thing is that you would say that would be, you know, they lump young adult, but they had a separate young adult section, so I'm not quite sure, which had the other full-size versions of this. So I don't know why this was in the kids section, but it meant it was only 50 cents, so that works for me. As with this book, this is Evil Genius by Catherine Jinks. Whatever you do, don't get caught. This is only 50 cents. This looks like fun. I don't know if you guys recognize art on the side, and I haven't double-checked this, so I might be talking out my butt. but I'm pretty sure this is the same artist who does Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and Squee and that sort of thing, because it totally reminds me of Squee, who is also the person who did Invader Zim. So, yeah, I had to get this. I'm being attacked by these. Anyway, it was only 50 cents. They have the hardcover version of this for $3. And I'm like, the only paperback's better anyway, and this is only 50 cents. Well, I think I'll take the 50-cent one, thank you. And I did. And I made away like an evil genius. Oops. Oh, I forgot to read the back. Cattle Pigot's parents thought he was brilliant and dangerous. His therapist thought he could rule the world. They were right. Awesome. I also found a quite interesting book, QI. The Book of General Ignorance. Forward by Stephen Fry and forewords by Ellen Davies. So excited to see this. It was actually funny. These sales are always a heck and a half. And I had been looking at a wall of books, and a person was like standing so that they were like, this is the table, this is the bookshelf. They were standing right in the middle, so you can't go behind, you can't go in front, you have to just wait till they're done because they're not moving. So I wait, and I wait, and I wait, and I wait. Finally she moves, and she like brushes past me like I'm in her way, and I'm pressed up against the table, so whatever. But I'm finally finished with that row. I turn around and I start looking at the table, and she pulls out a box from underneath. So I would take a glance down, and I notice she's like flipping through the books this way, and there's a book like at the very cusp. She's nowhere near the book that I see. I see this book, and I grab it because she's not touching that book. She's nowhere near that book. She's sorting through that book. I'm not touching her stuff. And she goes, ugh. It was there. If you saw that book, why didn't you just grab it? But okie dokie. It was only $2. And this is, again, a book that you can only get in the UK unless, well, you order it from the UK. Then you can get it. But I actually read this book when I was in England. Where's the thing I'm looking for? Ah, there it is. When I was staying with acquaintances in Liverpool. She had this book. She was letting me read them. And it just, not only do I love Alan Davies, and I love Stephen Fry, and I love the QI series. It's funny. It's hilarious. You should watch it. But I also love this intro. It's the forewords by Alan Davies. Willis D. Stephen. What's that? That was only, did I say? Yeah, that was only 2. Okay. Then I went to Half Price Books on the way home, and I found Wither. Oh yeah, by Lauren Di Stefano. And it was only $6, which I think is really good because I do not think it's been read. It is a remainder though, so maybe that's why it was so cheap. But it was, depending on which copy you saw, I saw some of the soft covers for like $9. They had another batch which were $5, so it was $1 cheaper. But I was like, I may as well pay the extra $1 for a hardcover because I really like these in hardcover actually. And I'm not even a hardcover fan, but I just like the look of these ones in hardcover. I don't know. Probably weird, but oh well. So I got that. And then I went to not thrift store, garage sale, where hardcovers were $0.25 and softcovers, paperbacks, were 10 cents. So I got a couple books. First I got Hollywood Babylon by Kenneth Angers. And this book is from... What year is this from? I'm trying to find the copyright page. There it is. From 1975. And it's just like filled with random things about stars, and big picture. Oh, can't show you that picture. They had a pin-up in the picture. Would not be appropriate for all audiences. There's this one. Look at the chihuahua. So cute. Anyway, so it was only $0.25. And... oh, I forgot to show the bookmarks. Oh well, I'll do that in a second. And then I got this, Dan Brown, The Lost Symbol. I believe this is the 3rd one in the Da Vinci Code series, because it mentions Robert Langdon again. So I think so. It was only 10 cents. Got this one. because it was cheap, I got Da Vinci Code as well. I have it in hardcover that I got from the library, because I've done this a lot, where I've lost books from the library and so I had to pay for them. So I got mine, I had to pay for it from the library. I'm so smart. Anyway, so I got that. And then I got this book. It's called Unearthing Atlantis by Charles Pellegrino. And it's an archaeological odyssey to the fabled lost civilization. It's like theorizing about the city of Atlantis and what could, like, showing the actual possibilities of what could have happened, and remains that they do have, evidence they do have. So, yeah. I got this book. It's called The Carpetbaggers by Harold Robbins. It turns out it's like a classic or something. I just got it because I like the line, "It is a book for adults and not for the squeamish, but once you have started, you won't be able to put it down." It's funny. And it was only 10 cents. And it says, this blockbuster bestseller, over 100,000 sold at $5.95, now only 95 cents. But I only paid 10 cents for it. So yeah. Well, I paid less than that, actually, because they gave us a deal on all of them together. We saved 20 cents. So technically, 2 of the paperbacks were free, or one of the hardcovers was only 5 cents, or something, whatever. However you want to break it down. And then I got The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett.